Hey guys, so really quickly, like less than 2 minutes ago, I parked at home, right? And of course, it's evening traffic. People are going home. Well, I'm switching lanes to get to the lane for me to turn to my driveway. And I kept looking at this one vehicle from a good distance who was trying to merge because I'm thinking, I hope he sees me. And then it was a two-lane type of merging deal that they had going on. So you have the lane for you to turn left and the lane for you to turn right. And of course, I have the right of way because I'm already on the main street. So this person, I start switching lanes about some 700 yards away from them. And then that's when he decides to start merging. So, of course, I honked at him. I let go of the steering wheel. I put my both hands on my face and I blocked because I was so close to him and I just don't want to slam on my brakes so hardly because I've always felt some type of way about the seatbelt pulling me back. Like, I just don't. I would rather have the impact than running the risk of maybe being choked by this thing. I don't know. It's a weird paranoia I have. But somehow I was able to stop um almost completely, but pretty much slow down to where, he kept going. And then the worst part of it was that the person next to him, I guess, was waiting for some kind of cue. And then she decides that because the other guy started merging, that because she's turning right, that the road is clear. So I dodged the first guy, but then this other woman is already, um, you know, merging erroneously. So I had to keep at it slow because otherwise I avoid one accident to get onto another one possibly, which wasn't even the main threat. But each time that happens, it gets me every time because I see the end. It's like, this is it. I'm crashing. I'm a few feet away from home, and this is it for me. So, like I said, I just gave up. I was like, I'm done. So I just didn't want to see. Um, so anyways, I just went about it. But then at the same time, as grateful as I am that the situation didn't go bad, because you guys are probably fed up with me making videos like this, but driving is one of my passions, so I don't think I'll be able to ever shut up about this. But dang, every time I dodge those incidents, that gut feeling that I get from the scare and the near miss, and then it leaves me shaking. Like, I'll watch the playback for this video, and I'm pretty sure that I'll hear my voice cracking in the beginning, and then maybe my hand shaking here and there. Anyways, I just like to take a minute, sit down, just because it's weird. I just came back from eating, and I was just, so relaxed. And then suddenly, I go to the road, and one instance changes. That, I mean, I'm not tripping, nothing bad, nothing, extreme, but once again, this is like my 20th driving video. Take your time, look both sides 20 times, especially on busy hours. And even as you start merging, keep looking to the sides because out of nowhere, someone is going to show up. It has happened to me. As cautious as I am, I could have sworn that I scanned the whole road, but it turns out that someone just appears. So if you don't have the right of way, then that's when you really, really want to pay attention because good God. So, anyways, let's see. Hey, Kevin, you can't you can't change certain things. Don't let no one steal your joy or love. Well, thanks a lot. Like I know that this is stuff that happens, that even if I'm extremely careful, I'm not immune to accidents. But like I said, every time it happens, I just like to vent about it because it's like, it's crazy. Driving should not be this dangerous, but because it's a human operating the vehicle, you can make a mistake, and that's what brings trouble anyway. So, but yeah, like as soon as I get out of this car, I'm just gonna lay down for a second and life will come back to normal for me. But like I said, it's like the shock of that happened and I'm never prepared for that. So that's what gets me like, whew, that scares. So, anyways, hey Ollie. I never learned to drive, just never needed to yet, but it seems like it doesn't matter how good a driver you are, but how good a driver, the worst one you'll encounter is people are dumb. People are dumb. Yeah, you're right. Like for me, I love to brag about my driving. I think I do excellent. But because other people out there have other stuff in their mind, or they're just not aware of how dangerous this is, you know, they make poor decisions. Um, the mistakes that I make on the road tend to be miscalculating something. Like sometimes there is a stoplight that I'm not familiar with, and I'm like, oh, I have time to cross it. And I'm like, oh, oh snap. I'm like beneath it as it's turning red, and I don't like that. And then other times it's when I'm trying to turn left and there's someone across from me, and I have no way of telling if they're turning right or going straight or turning left because they don't believe in using the blinker. So, that has nearly gotten me in trouble before because I think that someone, because of the way they have their car angled, is going to turn. So I start saving time by beginning to merge because I don't know how long that line is going to take and I don't want to be waiting beneath the light, all that time or run the risk of being in the middle of the road because I thought that I had time to merge, but then traffic picked up and then the light turns red and I'm still in the middle of the intersection. That's happened to me one time that I can think of. And someone was nice enough to stop and let me go and then they went. But it's troublesome. You're not designed to be operating in that fashion, at least in my opinion. So when you're driving, it's a complete different kind of multitasking that you have to do because you have the operation of the vehicle, braking, accelerating, and turning to the sides. And then you also have the awareness of how traffic is, how fast a vehicle is going. And when you look at them coming towards you, you may misjudge them by them coming faster than they really are. And that gets a little tricky. And in addition, to the people who don't believe in using the blinker, um, they may merge right in front of you, but because they didn't have a blinker on, you assumed that they were going to remain on their lane, which in our case it would be the left lane, so that I could begin to merge on the right lane. So, but yeah, like I said, it's one of those things that just I like to think of driving as not only am I thinking about my actions, I'm thinking about other people's actions. So I guess me as a driver, I treat it as when I'm playing music and I'm sight reading, I don't read what's like the measure that I'm on is not what I'm playing. I'm reading the measure ahead of what I'm playing. So that means that I have already scanned what's coming and I can anticipate my next movement. So, same thing with driving. The person in front of me may not react to the person in front of them in the same manner that I would. Like, if I see someone braking, I'm already braking. Sometimes I'm braking before they are because I like to bring the car to a halt much more gently. So some people don't care. They just, stop and you can feel like yourself being jerked backward. I hate that. So I like to look at the car that's in front of the car in front of me to determine what kind of action I'm going to perform. Because it has happened to me to where the person that's in front of me did not react to the person in front of them's braking, and then I ended up slamming on my brakes, nearly rear ending them because I was more worried about the person in front of me. So that is just an instinct that comes to you with driving experience. So I just don't see how people can possibly have time to text while they're driving because in a second the panorama of the road changes. So to anybody out there who tries to multitask using the phone, whether it's holding it up on your ear and even worse, texting, I don't get how you can do that because like I said, you have a lot happening. You have to monitor traffic, monitor obstacles on the road, and then driving the vehicle. Driving the vehicle itself keeps you busy. So that's why usually crashes involving texters are fatal because you just, by multitasking in that fashion, you're losing your concentrate in the same manner that you're supposed to efficiently because you have broken your thought process. So, anyway, see, I wish that I could tell if this is still recording or not because I feel like if my timer is still going, it means that my video is rolling. Yeah, huh, interesting. It still says it's reconnecting. Oh, so that's how. Well, in the meantime, I get to learn some functions. Yeah. Anyway, I hate when people text while driving. I mean, I suppose if you're grid locked anyway, you can get away, looking away for a few seconds. I mean, I just don't believe in the whole act of texting in general because it's a kind of multitasking when you're driving that doesn't correspond to the act of driving. So I just can't roll with it. I'm gonna end this just to have a record of what the stream was looking like when it says reconnecting because I don't know what's happening. So